All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Select Board meeting of Thursday, September 14th, 2023. It's going to be a riveting and enjoyable meeting tonight. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have a pretty packed agenda. Do we have Meg on Zoom? Meg, can you hear us?
But she should be there.
I don't see her on there.
No audio. She still has no audio.
Okay. So we have to wait for at least our third member to get on audio here to move forward.
And he's not, he doesn't have it on.
Okay.
You gotta turn your audio on.
Is she on?
Nope, I'm on. Right? Nope. There we go. Thank you, sir.
All right, Meg, can you hear us now?
Hold on. I can hear you now.
All right, excellent. All right, so we have Meg joining remotely. She had an issue with work, so she's...
That was Charlene.
That was Charlene. That was Charlene. Okay.
Oh, that's not Meg?
Meg's not on. Which we need.
Yeah, we need a third. Told you it'd be riveting. All right. Can we do announcements while we're waiting? She still can't hear us.
She can't? Is she muted?
Charlene could hear you.
Yeah, Charlene, could you hear Brett?
Is she on the break? Can you see if she's on there?
These are the only three I got.
She's not on it.
She's not on.
11.
Here.
Did she sign in?
No, go down to the bottom. On
Yep.
the left.
Yep.
No participants still.
Yep.
Did she sign in under the right thing so she's a participant and
Not a panelist.
not a panelist? I mean, not a.
How are you?
So she's a panelist.
good to see you.
I'll take
Yeah.
it.
You'll take it, okay. Thank you.
All right, we have a third.
Good to see you.
Parking, right?
But as far away as you can get.
Alex, you want an extra? Alex, you want an extra? All right, now we have a third. We can move forward with the meeting until, well, we're getting Meg on there too. First off, we have appointments and resignations, retirements. There's an appointment of the Select Board representative to the Capital Improvements Committee. I believe, Alec, last year that was you. And you want to continue?
Yes, sir.
So, I guess I'll move to reappoint Alec as the Select Board representative to the Capital Improvements Committee.
Good. You just need a second.
Yeah. Thank you. I motion to appoint Alec to Capital Improvement Committee.
Good. I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meg, still can't hear us? Okay.
I asked her to join as a participant.
Yeah. All right, and we have the resignation of Robert Medeiros from the Board of Health. Do you want to speak to that, Mike?
Sure. As you know from your last meeting when you honored Bob, he has moved out of town, so he can no longer sit on the Board of Health. And we just want to thank him for his many years of service on the Board of Health. Very helpful to us.
Thank you, Mr. Medeiros. Okay, and now we have the appointment of Ellen Valentine as the at-large member to the Board of Health. Is Ellen here?
Yeah.
Ellen is here.
You can come up and say something if you'd like.
Good.
You can come up, Deb.
Oh, okay.
That way you're not alone.
Right. Do you have any questions for me? I did submit my letter of introduction, and I don't know if you all had a chance to read it. I guess I would ask, what would you expect of me being on the Board of Health Advisory Committee?
That's going to be a long, long answer. We've got a lot of work to do to get you up to speed.
Okay.
What I did like about so Ellen came to our Board of Health meeting in August to kind of get a feel for what happens at the meeting. She was, I thought, very impressed by how it goes, and she wanted to be involved. Some of the things that she brought to the table back, she had some really good advice about how to deal with what we were dealing with at the time. On top of, she mentioned she wants to start doing some public outreach work with the town, maybe some educational stuff with the schools as far as nutrition and that type of thing. So all of that sounds fantastic to me. I could use the help. So I'm very excited to have her, and I can't wait to get started.
Oh, great.
Right? But we do have a lot of work to do.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Excellent. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I read the background, I think I'm good.
Yeah. All right, so I'm looking for a motion to appoint Ellen as the at-large member to the Board of Health.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ellen Valentine as the at-large member to the Board of Health.
A second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, congratulations and thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank
Good
you.
luck.
Okay. All right, next we have the appointment of Janelle Toogood to the Alternative Transportation Committee. Janelle is here, right?
I am.
Would you like to come say anything? You don't have to.
Sure. I'll just say hi. I'm Janelle Toogood, and I know I'll be supported by a group of people who are already very involved. So I won't bother you with questions about that. I'm sure they'll tell me what I need to do. And I'm an avid cyclist, leaving tomorrow to go to Arkansas to do some cycling there. So it's a passion of mine. I'm also a member of Rotary International, and so understand that there's a lot of community members involved, and we want everybody to be on board with this progression of the town. So
Excellent.
appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Janelle Toogood to the Alternative Transportation Committee.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
excellent. Welcome and thank you.
Oh, hi, Megan.
Okay. That worked out perfect. We have on the agenda, we wanted to do a moment of silence for retired Chief George Burgess, and I was hoping to get Meg on before we did that, so that was above on the agenda. So if anyone wants to say anything prior to that, I know Mike, you knew him pretty well, and Alec too. Whoever.
I just want to say it's a tremendous loss to the town. He was a permanent fixture forever, my whole lifetime, and sad to see him pass.
My interaction with George was when he was on the planning board, so he was already retired from being a chief at the time, but I always appreciated his input when he'd come in the office and talk about different things happening in the town with the planning board, and it's a great loss for the town.
All right, so now we're going to have a moment of silence for Mr. Burgess, or Chief Burgess. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, we have minutes to approve. We have, I believe, August 10th and August 30th. Has everybody had a chance to look those over?
Yes.
Any questions or changes?
I'm good.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from August 10th, 2023 and August 30th, 2023.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to roll call if she's in there?
You should.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to roll call these votes. Okay, Denise?
Aye.
Alec?
Aye.
Meg?
Aye.
And I am an aye. So we have licenses and permits. The first one is a one-day beer and wine license for Robert Robert Meadus for a public event on 98A Burt Street in Norton from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, October 7th, 2023. Any questions on that?
So, yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the one-day beer and wine license for Robert Meadus for a public event at 98A Bird Street, Norton, Mass. from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 7th.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor, oh, I'm sorry. Denise.
Aye.
Alec.
Aye.
Meg. I think that was enough.
That was
Yes.
enough.
Okay.
Yes,
And I'm-
yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay, the next one is a one-day beer and wine license to Elias De Silva for a private event at 185 North Washington Street from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday, October 1st, 2023.
I make a motion to vote to approve the one-day beer and wine license to Elias De Silva for a private event at 185 North Washington Street from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday, October 1st.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Denise.
Aye.
Alec.
Aye.
Meg.
Yes.
And I am a yes. Okay. Now we have, do we want to get into this one or wait until after the public hearing?
Well, if you could, maybe move to item 2 on new business so that,
Yes.
I know that the new appointee is kind of young and he might have to.
Might have to go outside
Past his
quickly.
bedtime.
He's getting antsy.
Okay, so we're going to skip to number 2 on new business, the Norton Police Community Service Program. I think we have a special guest coming in.
Oh, it might be outside.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
She just walked him outside for a second. Chief went to get her.
All right, so we can do, which one?
Do the transfer of the common vic license.
That was next on the license.
Yeah, okay. So the next one we have is review and vote to approve the application for the transfer of the common vic license from, are we ready? Okay. Skipping back to the Norton Police Community Service Program.
Good evening. I'm happy to introduce our newest addition to the police department, in particular the Community Service Program, K-9 Rider. Ryder is 11 weeks old and currently attending the Puppy Police Academy. His job will be to work with the Community Service Unit and actively conduct community policing throughout the town. He will be also responsible to adding comfort to those in need during difficult times. He came to us from the Golden Opportunities for Independence Service Dog Program. His handler, who's here tonight, is Detective Rachel Mayu. She is a 15-year veteran of the department, currently assigned to the Detective Division, and she is also a part-time school resource officer in the elementary schools. Ryder's already proven to be a great assistance during one of the recent investigations, which was a sensitive nature that we had, and I just ask you to formally appoint him to the police department tonight.
Okay. Way to go. So does he have anything to say?
So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Ryder as a full-time Norton Police Community Service K-9.
I second.
All right, Denise.
Aye. Yes, aye.
Alec. Yes. Meg.
Yes, but can I see the dog? I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see him.
To put them just right in front.
Right in front?
Right in front
I
of
love
them.
puppies.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
my God, that's so cute. Hi, Ryder.
He's a good one.
So that's a yes for me.
And I am a yes.
So he'll go through training for about 18 months or so.
Yeah.
It's just several days a week, except for Fridays. He's got Fridays off where he comes to the police department, but you'll see him around town. And at some point in time, there obviously is a cost to this, but we look to do this through gift donations. So Thank you for your
Yeah.
appointment tonight.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Exciting
Yeah.
for the community.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We're done.
All right. Now we have to move on to the public hearing, in the application of Yana Norton for 123 beer, wine, and smoke. We have to open let the vote? Yeah. Okay. So we need a vote to, motion to open the public hearing.
They can make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second, sorry. That's okay.
Okay, roll call is Denise?
Aye, yes.
Alec?
Aye.
Meg?
Yes.
And I am a yes. All right, excellent. So who do we have here to speak?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Elliot Ray. I'm an attorney from North Attleboro, Massachusetts. With me tonight is Mr. Patel, the proposed proprietor. Mr. Patel is looking to get a wine and malt beverage license at 57 West Main Street, which is just down the street in the strip mall. It's the back building across, I think there's 3 or 4 units there. He's the last building. I would point out that Mr. Patel has about 11 years' experience in the liquor wine business. He's never had a violation. He's tips trained. All his employees would be tips trained. He takes his business very seriously. He has the latest technology for scanning IDs, et cetera, which creates an electronic tracking system. And he would very much like this license. I think you know he came in recently. There were some issues which we understood. I was unable to make that night, I'm sorry. But he would very much like to be a part of the Norton community, get the business open. This is a 1,250 square foot building, appropriate exits, appropriate entrances. Any questions you may have regarding his experience, we're happy to answer.
All right, yeah, I do recall the last time, and unfortunately that location was...
Understood.
So, but my question on this one is, and this is actually more towards Mike, what's the distance from a school? Is it the property line to the school, or is it the school to
For
the
beer and
business?
wine?
Yeah,
It would
just because it's so close to the Yale, that's...
Yeah. The attorney might be able to tell you better, but I'm assuming it's property line to property.
Yes, property line to property line. I'm well aware of the area. There is an elementary school, and, I mean, Mr. Rich knows me from many, many years ago. I do take my job seriously. Mr. Patel does. And in no way am I trying to diminish that the school's there, but these safeguards that he has in place and never having had a violation, this isn't like the previous application where there were people that really were trying to turn their lives around and really not have
Temptation.
a temptation, but almost like I was going to say like a lollipop right next door, and you don't want to take a lollipop. I'm not trying to diminish it, but here he's got the safeguards in place, and obviously, you know, in elementary school, no one in elementary school is going to even walk into the store because it's an adult beverage store. So I don't think it's, although I'm concerned, and I drove by many, many times, I don't think it's a serious issue, and I do believe the board has the discretion to approve it, even though it may be within a geographic zone.
Any questions?
So, I did happen to speak with the superintendent of schools today.
Okay.
About a couple different things, and we did speak about this, and there is a level of concern. And, you know, to your points that you made before about, you know, it's there. And with the electronic ID system, you know, whatever that is, it seems like, you know, you're gonna be pretty stringent with, you know, carding kids and whatnot.
Yeah, to be clear, it scans in and creates an electronic record, and it also, when it scans, it catches fake IDs, which I'm not smart enough to understand a fake ID. This doesn't.
You know, so, you know, to that, that was the biggest level of concern, being around. There's a lot of middle school kids that walk over there, as well as high school kids getting pizza I mean, Norton House Pizza is, I mean,
Regular stuff, yeah.
Yeah, our kids, you know, it's been a permanent fixture there. As
You know,
we go.
just to kind of touch base on this, most liquor stores, as Mr. Patel, if you look under 40, you get carded now. And I've been carded.
I don't get counted.
No, well, you know, I can tell you something. If you get carded somewhere, do you know what it means? They're under a watch program, and they've been told that you card every single person or you're gonna lose your license. Happens at the airports a lot. And so he's gonna card anyone under 40. He has the systems in place, he has trained people, he has tips. And again, I just, with the utmost respect, I'm born and raised in North Attleboro. In the elementary school, there's one right across the street. I represent those people. We've never had a problem. The kids don't even, they're just young kids, they don't even try. So we haven't had a problem there. I have a number of other schools in different towns, we haven't had a problem.
We definitely have with other schools in town. There is other establishments that are within a very similar proximity to the other school.
I just want to ask a question. So this is, just to clarify, this is just a beer and wine
Yes, ma'am.
license? And also, I saw in that packet that this is also tobacco and grocery?
Yes, smoke shop, correct.
Smoke
Well,
shop.
well, very, very light snacks.
Okay.
Not grocery, no, more lights, like chips.
Convenience store stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, very light though.
Yeah, in that particular area, the only thing that concerns me probably more than anything is, on a nice sunny day, there are literally gangs of children that walk up and down that strip and go into stores together. I'm more worried about is if there's enough people to kind of watch for theft, possible theft of kids going in there for snacks and maybe snagging something off of a shelf or unintentionally getting access to something they wouldn't ordinarily.
As a lawyer who's had 4,000 criminal cases, I can't control people breaking the law.
Yeah.
But, you know, where you situate your register and your diligence and deterrence is the greatest thing to have people not
Right.
create problems. So if you're aware, you tend not to have problems. If you're lazy, if you're not paying attention, you tend to have problems.
Yes, I guess I want to make sure that Mr. Patel is aware that there is literally like crowds of children that will go into that store,
Maybe
and
I
that
can
you've
add
got
to
some security measures in place, maybe to make sure that.
Maybe I can add to that.
And I see them walking every day and they know my name.
Yeah, they do know you, Peter.
So basically this is a like 1,200 square feet store, so the way we set it up, and actually the landlord is the Norton House of Pizza, which is next door, and we have some restriction in the lease that we cannot sell many snacks and things. So our main focus is beer and wine, and because that occupies most of the space, so we hardly have any snacks. So I would say mostly it's mostly 21 plus products. So not much food items or soda or something.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
All right, Meg, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
All right, if there's a, I guess, is there anybody in the public that has questions or would like to comment? You can come on up. If you could just state your name and address for us.
My name's Carolyn Heim, and I live at 229 Mansfield Avenue in Norton. And my only question would it be a feasible idea for him to put a sign on the outside of the door, under 21, not allowed?
Yeah.
It's just a thought.
That's a good thought.
Yep.
We'd be happy to do that.
Anyone else with questions? Right, this is my type of crowd. So let's see. So now I guess we're looking to close the public hearing, and then we can take a vote after that.
A motion to close the public hearing, just to say the whole thing, or just
Yeah, no, just,
for the Yana Norton LLC, doing business as 123 Beer, Wine, and Smoke at 97 West Main Street.
57.
Sorry, 57 West Main Street, wrong day. Unit C.
Second. All right, we're gonna do roll call again. Denise.
Aye.
Alec. Aye. Meg?
Yes.
And I am a yes. To close the public hearing. Now, any further discussion among the board? No? If not, I'm looking for a motion now.
a motion to vote.
Whichever way the board would like to do it.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the license for Yana Norton LLC, DBA 123 Beer, Wine, and Smoke at 57 West Main Street, Norton.
A second.
Motion and a second, we'll roll call. Denise?
Aye. Aye, sorry.
That's okay. Alec?
Aye.
Meg?
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Really appreciate it. Hope we're an asset to the town.
I'm sure
We do too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good luck
Thank
on
you, guys.
Fridays.
Yes.
And half days.
Oh, half days, yeah.
All right, back to the agenda. Let's see.
Where are we?
So I started this before. Review and or vote to approve the application for the transfer of the common vic license from Mass Pizza Incorporated, doing business as Roma Italian Pizza, to Express Pizza LLC, to be utilized at 360 Old Colony Road in Norton. Do we have anyone here to speak on this? You guys can come up.
How you doing?
My name is Osman Ramirez. I moved like years ago to 53 Kennedy Drive in Attleboro. And so I tried to get the business with my brother-in-law, with new recipes, and to serve at the community. And I have a lot of experience in a restaurant. I worked for like 18 years. So, but I never owned, but try to get it now.
So you're buying it?
Yeah,
From your brother-in-law.
my brother-in-law extra money.
Okay. Do you plan to just keep it open, or are you going to renovate and?
Oh no, just keep it open.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Meg, one second. Meg, do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Go ahead, Peter.
Sometimes I go to that place before my haircuts on Thursdays and their food is good.
With that being said, I'd like to make a motion to vote to approve the application for the transfer of the common victual license from MA Pizza, DBA Roma Italian Pizza, to Express Pizza LLC, to be utilized at 360 Old Colony Road.
A second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, Denise?
Yes.
Alec?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Congratulations.
Good luck.
Yes. Okay, we're cruising here. One more. We have the review and or vote on the application of the Vital Voyage LLC for home occupation, taxi cab, other motor vehicle for hire license. Do we have anyone here from? You can come up with the bike.
See you next letter.
Hello, my name is Olga Batista. So we are residents of Norton at 7 North Washington Street. My husband and I studying the transportation business that would provide transportation services for ambulatory patients to go for their appointments with the hospitals, maybe some public events. These are technical education people who cannot drive. So we will be providing those type of opportunities for them. Eventually, we're planning on subcontracting with the brokers that provide services to Mass Health insured patients, and we'll be providing transportation services for them. My husband and I have been in serving nonprofit corporations for over 15 years. So I myself was always in the finance side in nursing homes, and my husband is serving currently in a community and human service company. So we have this extensive experience dealing with the patients and community needs. So that's kind of what led us to providing this type of particular service to our community as well.
Excellent. Do we have any questions from the board here?
Note, I just want to make note of the letter from the building commissioner regarding select board should determine the maximum amount of vehicles allowed on site. How many vehicles do you plan on having?
So we have two vehicles. One is for me to drive and one is for my husband to drive. So both are licensed with delivery plates.
Are they vans? Are they, what kind of vehicles
It's
are they?
a sedan. So we're only
Oh.
going to be transporting ambulatory patients, those who can walk. Maybe they just have a walker, but we do not provide the van or the chair car.
Yeah, they're two smaller car, I feel like, kind of car.
Yes, it's two Priuses.
Prius, yeah.
All right, Meg, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, no, that's it. Make a motion, just, good.
Just make sure that Olga's not changing the oil out in the driveway.
And do you have to state how many, and we make the motion to state how many cars maximum? Because it
I
said,
think,
What was he-
the letter
what was he
from
suggesting?
the deputy chief
Said
did confirm that the two vehicles they are using are all set. They currently have two vehicles with active library registration registered to their business. That's from Deputy Chief Jackson.
right.
So the
I s-
motion could be the two, and then if you want to, if you end up increasing it, you'd have to come back and,
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Okay.
two is enough for us.
Okay.
okay.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the application of Vital Voyage LLC for a home occupation taxi cab, other motor vehicle license for hire license for two vehicles at 7 North Washington Street.
I'll second. Good job.
Okay, all those, I'm sorry, Denise.
I'll second. Oh, aye, yes. second.
Ellie. Aye. Meg.
Yes.
And I am a yes. Congratulations.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we got announcements now. Okay. You
Stand by. So first announcement is the 2023 wine tasting at Lake Pearl Rentham Treetop Lounge, Thursday, October 26th, 6 to 9 p.m. for the Habitat for Humanity. Tickets are $75 per person, and obviously proceeds benefit Habitat for Humanity. That one. We have the Norton Park and Rec Halloween Costume Exchange. I hope everybody's aware of this. It's, people can drop off gently used Halloween costumes to the bin at the front lobby of the town hall Monday, September 11th through Friday, October 6th. Put the costumes in a bag with any accessories that go with it so they all stay together. And then Tuesday, October 10th, go to Everett Leonard Park from 4 to 7 to see if your child can find a new Halloween costume. There's no cost to this, you just need to bring a costume to get a costume. And anybody can participate. The hours for drop-off at Norton Town Hall are basically the hours that the town hall's open. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30, Thursday, 8:30 to 7:30, Friday, 8:30 to 12:30. And the hours for getting the new costumes at Everett Leonard Park are 4 to 7 p.m. Sponsored by the Norton Park and Rec.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I wish this was a place where my kids were dressing up.
You're in the attic full of this stuff.
1 second.
And I just wanted to say the box is out now at Town Hall, so.
Did you bring a costume?
I'm sure we have, well, I'm sure we have tons of them in my house, my kids. Yeah.
So next one is the Explore Girl Scouts new members sign up event, September 21st from 5:15 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Norton Public Library. That's for Girl Scouts, September 21st, 5:15 to 7 p.m. at Norton Public Library.
And grades K through 3.
K through 3, yes, sir. And then if I may, give an update. One of the things I spoke with Jen O'Neill about was just an update on the train project going on there with the solar panels and all that stuff. The Yale School should be getting hooked up any day now. You know, last report that was still in flux of wait for a transformer, what have you, that has happened, and any day now, that should be getting hooked up. So that will just leave the high school as the last full array system to be hooked up. Transformer's there, the only thing hanging it up is the contractor originally had filled out the incorrect paperwork, so that is in process now, and they're hoping that comes to fruition very quickly. That's it.
All right. Denise, do you have anything?
I did not bring anything.
Okay. What about you, Meg? Do you have anything to announce? Meg?
Yeah, sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you guys.
Oh, it's okay. Do you have any announcements, or are you all set?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, Alec.
Yes, sir.
So now moving back to new business. Let's see. Update on the select board's FY23 town report and photo. Let me just do this.
Unfortunately, we did, because we were way late, so this year we gotta stay on top of it and get it done.
So, what are you thinking of the timeline, for a timeline?
Usually by December it's in, but sooner the better, because it's last year, so it's easier for a write-up, for the report from the board to be done now, when everything's fresh in your mind for the year, than wait much longer.
All right. So, we can add this, I guess, to a next agenda too, so we can divvy up who's gonna do what, and maybe get a date for the photo, so we're all well prepared. Gotta get my hair did. All right. We have an update on Home Market Foods, Traffic Safety Committee. I guess I'll speak to that. I'm the representative on the Traffic Safety Committee. We have, the town has put together a few signs that hopefully will direct the trucks the proper way. So far, they're working. I think there's some 495 signs pointing them in the right direction, so that's working. We just met a couple days ago, and the Serped rep was there, and they're going to do a study on that area. They're going to do traffic counts, and they're paying for all of it. The town's not going to pay for that, so they're going to do that study for us, and hopefully determine if we can make that some of those roads no trucks, which you need the study to do that. And I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else going on that area. All right. Now we have discussion or vote to declare the Norton Police Department's 2019 Chevy Tahoe as surplus.
May I read it? Yep. So from Chief Brian Clark, requesting that the following vehicle be deemed surplus property for auction. 2019 Chevy Tahoe, 105,000 miles. Vehicle has reached end of life and is due to be replaced in September. It's currently out of service due to repair costs.
All right. So we need a motion on that too.
Go.
Make a motion to declare the Norton Police Department 2019 Chevy Tahoe as surplus.
Second.
All right, Denise.
Yes.
Alec.
Yes.
Meg.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Next, we have a discussion or vote to approve the request of Carolyn Heim for the use of the town common and gazebo for a public prayer of the Rosary on Saturday, October 14th, 2023, from approximately 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. I think Carolyn's here. Carolyn, you're welcome to come up and say something if you'd like.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Heim, 229 Mansfield Ave in Norton. Last year, we had a very successful rosary in the town square at the gazebo, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year. There were about 35 people in attendance last year, and we're looking at between 35, hopefully 50. We'd like 50. I spoke with the sergeant or colonel in charge of the traffic situation, because I was asked last year to do that, and he didn't feel that there was any need for it because it's private. It would, the expense would come out of my pocket, but he didn't feel that there was any need for that, because there's not a lot of vehicles that will be part of that. But also Wheaton College has told us that we could use their parking lots to park
Excellent.
if there are excess cars. And I was also given the okay to make that, what's that road called? Library Road?
Library Square.
Yeah, thank you very much. To make that a handicap-only parking section for the day, just for that short window of time. And it worked out very well last year.
Excellent. It's a good idea for future events to make that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the request of Carolyn Heim for use of the town common and gazebo for prayer, public prayer of the Rosary on Saturday, October 14, 2023, from approximately 12 to 1:30 p.m.
A second.
Okay, Denise,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Meg,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Excellent, thank you very much. All right. Moving on, we have a discussion and/or vote to approve the placement of geocaches on Feeney Island. Do we have anybody here that wants to speak to that?
Yes.
Excellent.
I don't know what it is.
Because a lot of people don't
What
know
is
what
this?
geocaches
Oh,
are.
actually, I love that.
I had no idea.
My daughter loves geocaches.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm Ellen McGrath. I live on 29 Mansfield Ave, and Norton Reservoir is right down the street from me, and I canoe out there. And I've been out to Feeney Island a couple of times, and I keep thinking it would be great to put a geocache on the island. I'm a member of geocaching.com. You don't have to be a paid member to join, but if you pay, you can find any geocache. Sometimes people set a geocache that only members that pay can find it. I've found already about 500 geocaches, and I've placed about a half dozen in Norton already. I placed one at the library, at the Girl Scout camp, L.A. Foster Preserve, Tricentennial Park, and the cemetery near the library, too. And it's a lot of fun.
Do you want to explain
What-
to
what
some
do you-
people
Okay.
what geocaching is?
What you do is you hide a container. It can be a big box, or it can be as small as like a prescription bottle. And inside you put a log. And then you have coordinates that you punch in by going to geocaching.com. There's a profile of the geocache on geocache.com. And and use your coordinates to find it. And you log it. If you don't find it, you say you can't find it. And then you can leave trinkets or anything inside the geocache. They have a rule that you can place a geocache only about a quarter mile from another one, so I don't think Feeney Island have more than two, if ever, they have more than one geocache. So.
It's kind of like an elaborate hide and seek.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Yes, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's like what was that, Pokemon that people were searching for them?
Some still do play it.
So it would have to be somebody that has
Some
a
people-
canoe or a kayak to get out there.
Like a
to find
scavenger
it.
hunt.
Yeah,
Thing.
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, thank you for letting us know, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the placement of geocaches on Feeney Island.
A second.
Okay, Denise,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Meg,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Very cool. All right, next we have discussion and/or vote to exercise right of first refusal of recreational use, Chapter 61A, Section 9, regarding assessors parcel ID 11-28-0 at 0 Leonard Street.
So this went around to all departments, and none of the departments had any interest in asking you to purchase the property. Conservation agent felt there's a lot of floodplain there, so he doesn't think much is going to be built there anyway. And just didn't seem like it was worth the purchase by the town. And so I would recommend that the town not exercise the right of first refusal.
Any questions? Meg, any questions?
No.
All right, so I guess the motion would be to not accept?
I just have one quick question. Like the there's like a stream or something back there. Is that not anything that we could use like for recreational use, or is it not big enough?
Yeah, I think what the Conservation Commission's feeling was that we own a lot of land up here, which gives us access to the
that stream?
river.
Okay.
And as part of the Blue Star project, they had to agree to leave a right of way so that people could get down through their property to the river, so.
Gotcha.
We can access that through the cemetery as well, the backside of the cemetery, from Plant Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess the motion would be to
To
waive the right of
Not-
first refusal, or to not exercise the right of first refusal.
Make a motion to vote to not exercise the right of first refusal of recreational use, Chapter 61A, Section 9, regarding assessors parcel ID 11-28-0, Leonard Street.
Just want to confirm we're motioning in the
But not
alternative not to exercise it, right?
Correct.
Okay. I second it.
Okay, Denise?
Yes.
Ally? Yes. Meg?
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Okay, next up, we have the review of the fall annual town meeting article list.
Okay, so the list in front of you, a lot of the standard articles, just some of the ones I want to point out that are a little different. There are some placeholders there too, just in case. But a couple of them, if you look at Article 10 and 11, Article 10 where it says opioid settlement funds. So as part of the opioid settlement, we've received funds that are right now part of free cash, but they can only be used for certain things as part of the settlement. So the article at town meeting will be to appropriate those for the use by NOPE, not opioid prevention, that they can determine the specific uses that they could be used for. And the same is with the community impact funds, cannabis community impact mitigation funds. We've received over $30,000, and the concern is that if we don't have impacts and we have to pay that money back someday, so this would be an article to appropriate that money for that purpose, and it will sit there until, if we have impacts, we'll use it, and if not, if we have to pay it back someday, we'll have to pay it back. Other one that's interesting is Article 13. So, as you know, at town meeting last year, town meeting voted to approve the filing of special legislation to allow the town to use the Prudent Investor Act. And I recently received a notice from the state senator that the hearing was coming up. I said, well, I don't think we need it now, because under the governor signed in the budget the Mass General Law, Chapter 203C, the Massachusetts Prudent Investor Act. So as it was, the State Treasurer Collectors Association worked to have this approved and passed this year. So if town meeting votes to accept this statute, we can automatically use the Prudent Investor Act. And the Prudent use of Prudent Investor, and there's no reason for the legislation that we previously asked for. And the next one, Article 14, the town clerk has proposed this. It would exempt any resident over 70 from having to pay fees for licensing their dog.
All right, anything else of note on there for tonight? Just placeholders.
Yeah, just a lot of placeholders, really. The Cottage Street access. Article 18, I'm not sure we're going to need that, because I think water and sewer may vote to waive those fees anyways.
That's for the Habitat House, right? Habitat for
That's
Humanity.
right, yeah. I know they're going to take that up at the board meeting.
Okay.
They canceled their meeting last night because of the tornado warnings. in Gatsby, where it says Gatsby, that's just, there's an article, every 2 years, we have to have an actuarial look at the cost of all of our retiree health insurance. And that's why we always talk about OPEB, where we put money into a fund to be held. So every 2 years, they have to do a study to determine what the dollar amount is.
It's just an audit for upcoming or what's already paid in?
It looks at the future, so it looks at all the contracts and what we pay as a percent of health insurance and things like that.
All right, excellent. So next on the agenda was a discussion on United Steel, Paper and Forestry, Rubber Manufacturing, Energy, Allied Industrial and Service Workers International Union, the AFL-CIO, CLC. We're going to discuss this in an executive session at the end of this meeting. So I'm thinking that we move this agenda item to the next meeting, so that we don't have to go into executive and then back to a regular meeting, if that's okay with everyone. So I think we need a motion to table it to our meeting on the 28th.
Make a motion to table the discussion on the United Paper, Steel, Paper, and Forestry, Rubber Manufacturing, Energy, and Allied Industrial and Service Workers International Union contract until 9/28.
Second.
Okay, Denise?
Yes.
Alec?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
And I will vote yes. So we're going to table that one until next meeting. Any other business?
Chair, I think number 2, Norton Police Community Service Program,
Which one?
number 2 under
Oh,
business.
That was the dog. Rhino.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though. I tend to miss things this one.
I thought it was something different.
Okay, town manager's report.
I just want to give you an update on the housing of migrants. First, I'll just give you a state status update. As of now, there's 6,200 families placed in shelters in Massachusetts, and that's double what it was last year. And the state expects 7,500 families to be placed by, I said September, I meant October. The number of families seeking shelter is increasing 1,000 a month. And in FY22, the average stay was 28 months for a family in a hotel. The state is currently paying $45 million a month on the shelter program. The Haley administration emphasizes that the migrants from Haiti are here legally and they're seeking asylum. They're part of that program. Families are eligible for benefits such as SNAP and transitional assistance. Single people are not eligible for benefits. And the state has asked the federal government to expedite the federal work authorization for the migrants so that they can work and to provide. They're also asking for funding to help out with the cost of the $45 million a month. As of yesterday, the National Guard was scheduled to be activated and handle non-staff facilities. Their duties at the facilities will be help see that students are enrolled in school, food coordination and access to food, basic needs, connection to medical needs, and transportation. I had the help agent go to the site today, and there was no one there, so we'll reach out to the state again. We're constantly trying to find out who our contact is. So Lieutenant Governor's had about 3 conference video Zoom meetings. And, you know, there's general frustration by communities with a lack of notice, worries about school enrollment numbers, and concern on reimbursement to communities for expenses. The Lieutenant Governor did say this week to keep track of your expenses, if any, and maybe the state will have funds later to reimburse. I'm not hoping, I'll hope.
It comes from the federal.
Yeah. So we had a task force meeting yesterday, and it was attended by the school superintendent, the police chief, the fire chief, the health agent, the building commissioner, the Human Services Council on Aging Director, and myself. So right now, we can report that the facility in Norton, there's 28 rooms occupied with 28 families. And there's 75 total occupants, made up of 42 adults and 33 children. Currently, 4 students are registered in the Norton Public Schools. The schools received no notice either. They went to the facility to register students. The students are on a regular bus route, so there's no extra cost for transportation for these 4 students. The state is providing up to $1,000 per student in emergency assistance to purchase needed things that the kids will need for school. And a payment of $104 a day per student for education costs, or $18,000 for a full year.
To the school?
To the schools, yep. And the superintendent said she'll be filing a report quarterly for reimbursement on that. The health agent is a regular participant in meetings. They have a Bristol Norfolk Health Board consortium, and they've discussed the needs of the people staying in the communities, such as winter clothing, toiletries, over-the-counter medications, and pocket translators. And the state did say they're going to try and get communities the translators so that we can have them. It would be nice, especially for our first responders, and even in the town hall. If someone comes in the town hall to file paperwork, birth certificates, things like that, it would make it easier for us to communicate. And the Human Services COA Director informed the group of various agencies or nonprofits that may be able to help. And she mentioned how St. Vincent de Paul has a clothing center. So if we get a coordinator here that we work with, and because it's coming fast where these people are going to need winter coats, jackets. I don't know whether the state could be supplying those, I don't know, but we need to find out. And if we can bus them to St. Vincent de Paul, arrange it with them on a certain day. They have like a warehouse where they can go and actually try on clothes, so that you get the right size. You're not getting a bunch of clothes that turn out don't fit anyone. And the police chief also said that the department's having a food drive on October 21st, and they're having a toy drive on November 25th, because the next thing is Christmas would be coming up, and anything. We also had discussion about a contact person at the facility that we hope will be there, will help us identify the needs, the families, the clothing sizes, things like that. And at some point, we may need once we find this information out, then the age of the people there and what they need, then we can reach out to the community, and hopefully we'll have volunteers that will step forward to help us get those supplies together that people need. And we're going to meet again. We're going to meet every other week, so we'll be meeting in 2 weeks.
I'd be happy to help with those donations.
Yeah, that's great.
Did Chris find out anything about, any vaccination records on some of the kids or anything that they had?
The schools said they're still waiting on some of that information.
In neighboring Mansfield, they're having and school officials encouraging community members to come out of Mansfield past the walking can help with newcomer criminals while they're at it. And these people on Sun Council are leaving nasty comments, which we're going to observe, because they need help. They need help.
Yeah. All right, do you have anything else about free cash update?
Yeah, just to give you an update on the free cash. So this year, our free cash was $4,928,970. Probably the highest in history, to be honest with you. But the main thing that drove that obviously was the holidays. So the free cash of the 4.9 million was made up of appropriation returns, $1,955,960, and $1,400,000 of that was from the health insurance holiday. So that was a big driver. Inspection collections were up $1 million.
Wow.
So that was obviously a big driver. Also, interest income was $800,000 higher with the rising interest rates, and
But we're paying so much more.
and you're right, and some of the monies that we've received that are sitting in the bank right now, as I talked earlier, like the opioid settlement funds, we've received $201,801 that is from that. Also,
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
Does that interest income have to be used for the same?
That's good. No, because it's mingled in with
Okay.
everything else. It's a general fund revenues. And then we collected $55,000 on cannabis tax. So that's the first time that we've had that. Never had that before. And they're coming up on the 17th, I think, is their one-year anniversary. And we also, I said $35,000. We received $85,000 in cannabis impact fees to date. And then also another driver was the billboard company that put up the second billboard. Rather than pay it over 10 years, they paid $250,000 up front. So a lot of different things added came into.
That was excellent. I was advocating to have them paid up front instead of over the 10 years, so that's great.
And just on the turnbacks, so from the town, general government, 144,000. A lot of that is reserve fund from the finance committee that wasn't used. Public safety, 50,000 was turned back. The schools turned back $207,743, and that was what we worked on. So that would be to pay the train note. And then Public Works turned back $28,000. Veterans Services and the Council on Aging, the Board of Health, $125,000. Bulk of that is, we never know what we're gonna need to expend on veterans services, so a lot of that would be that. And then Function 9, which is insurance, is the $1,397,424 from the health insurance. So
It was turned back?
That's, it
The
wasn't
holiday,
spent
yeah.
because of the holiday.
Wow.
The 2 months.
Okay.
There's no chance of a holiday 2 years in a row,
I
right?
know.
So
We'll
we're going
see.
right back out the door.
Right?
We'll see if our numbers
Yeah,
are still
the insurance
doing
companies
good.
aren't that gracious.
All right, do you have anything else, Mike?
That's it.
All right. So now we're on to Select Board's report and mail. I just have two things. I want to be brief. The first one, I got an email today, so I forwarded it to everybody, I think. So maybe we'll put it on a future agenda, but there's a resident that's concerned about permit fees, how they're, I'm not gonna get all the way into it, but, there's a chart there that shows that Norton is extremely high compared to our neighboring towns, and the closest towns that compare to us are Cambridge or something like that. So I wanna put that on a future agenda, but just let everybody know that I got that and I forwarded it to you all, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The building commissioner was working on it this afternoon.
Oh, was he? All right. And the last thing I have is we got an email about the middle of August about the HCA agreement, and I know we're supposed to discuss it at our next meeting, but I personally want to just make sure it's on that agenda. I know we're going to have a really packed agenda, and I want to make sure it's not going to be bumped. So I'd like to just take a vote to make sure that we have it on the agenda for the 28th. anybody's so inclined to do so.
To make a motion to?
Yeah, motion to just put the HCA discussion on next. And to elaborate on that, Alec and I sat in on a discussion about this, and in my mind, it looks like it's pretty close. I think they're pretty close to a deal, so hopefully, who knows, it could be wrapped up by next meeting, maybe not, but, I just want to make sure we get it on the agenda and discuss if we need to, so.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to have HCA discussion at the next meeting on September 28th.
28th, yeah.
Yeah, 28th.
All right, do we have a second?
A second.
All right, motion and a second.
We have to take this one.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Alec?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Excellent. Now we have the warrants.
Just one thing I
yeah, go
forgot,
ahead.
if I could. I was going to give an update on the bike trail. I think I sent you a notice that I gave to the state engineer this week. I heard from a resident who said, I know the bike trail was happening, but no notice, we didn't receive any notice that they're going to be working behind our house. And so I gave him that notice, and he said he was going to have the contractor go door to door and drop that off. So the bike trail right now, they're moving down the line, so they're going from Cobb Street down down to 123 along North Washington. So it's moving along. And East Main Street, they're starting to raise the structures so they can do the final paving. So hopefully we're done soon on East Main.
Excellent. So I almost skipped right over it and asking anybody else if you had any select board report and mail. I apologize.
Well, these are the notices that Mike gave us prior to the meeting. So you want me to read these?
Yeah, do you want him to go through those or no?
Let me see what they are.
One's a job opportunity, one's a DEP.
Do we need to?
No.
Next meeting?
If you want.
Yeah, this is just an in-house posting at the highway.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
that's
already
it.
closed, September
Yeah.
7th.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
And this is, everyone got this.
I need
so
that.
just sign that highway will have to do.
Yeah.
What's mine?
You got yours. What's yours? We don't need to, I mean, unless you want to find that, yeah.
I think this is a good thing. The North Cottage wrote a letter to us.
Yeah.
They wrote a letter to us, let's see, dated August 14th. Dear Norton Board of Selectmen, the North Cottage program would like to thank you for allowing us to speak at the public hearing held on Thursday, October 10th. It was very important for us to provide our viewpoint in order to protect our residents who are working on the recovery from the disease of addiction. We are so grateful for your support and decision not to approve the campus market to obtain a wine and malt beverage license. It meant so much to hear the kind words that each of you expressed before voting. The understanding and compassion was overwhelming to hear. There is so much negativity and stigma around substance abuse disorder that the kindness you showed to us reminds us that we are not alone and that we are part of a community that is supportive of what we do. This positive and supportive attitude helps us come to work every day and continue to help people with their recovery the best that we can. With deep appreciation, Jane Burgess, Executive Director.
Excellent. And, Denise, did you have anything?
Nope.
Meg, do you have anything?
Nope.
All right. So warrants, I approved the warrants as written on the agenda. Next meeting agenda is September 28th, 2023, a public hearing on the application of Alberto's Pizza and Pub. Manager Roberto Carlos Ortiz Moreno for a transfer of the Section 12 on-premises common vic all alcohol beverage license at 241 Mansfield Avenue from Alberto's Pub and Pizza. To what? Okay. Well, that'll be on the next meeting agenda. Now we're going to move into executive session, so I'm going to read this. I declare under General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, that the purpose of the executive session will be to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining concerning the United Steel, Paper and Forestry, Rubber Manufacturing, Energy, Allied Industrial and Service Workers International Union, the AFL-CIO CLC, Local Union 9517, Unit 15, and the Norton Police Superior Officers Association, the NPSOA, because a discussion of the strategy in open session could compromise the purpose of the executive session, and with the board not to return to open session at the conclusion of the executive session. So I need a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion to go into.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's, you gotta do that.
I move that the board go into executive session under General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, for the purposes of reasons declared by the chair, and with the board to return to open session thereafter.
Chair, if I may, I have a quick question.
Yep.
I thought we moved earlier in the meeting to move it to 9:28.
No, the vote on it in open session.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is just, okay.
Yeah, because otherwise we would have to go to executive and then back to open session again.
Got you. All right, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll second.
Okay, Denise,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Meg,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. All right, thank you very much.